Good evening, everyone.
Thank you. What can I do?
Apologize for our tardiness, but the comment section did go longer before our closed session.
Thank you.
So I will ask Trustee Lang to report out actions taken in closed session.
Thank you. There was one action taken in closed session. On a 6-0 vote with Trustee Milchiker absent, the board approved a 1-month paid leave with benefits to a classified employee subject to verification of other conditions.
Thank you. Trustee Prendergast had another commitment, so I will do the invocation, and that will be followed by Pledge of Allegiance led by Trustee Whitt. Today marks the 102nd anniversary of the Armenian Genocide. On April 24th, 1915, the Ottoman Turkish government placed under arrest and executed over 200 Armenian community leaders, poets, and intellectuals. What ensued was the systematic extermination and slaughter of 1.5 million Armenian men, women, and children at the hands of the Ottoman Turkish government. Over this past weekend, I saw the opening of The Promise, a major motion picture on the Armenian Genocide. The film highlights the efforts of 2 Americans, an AP reporter and the U.S. ambassador, who attempted to halt and expose the Turkish government's policy to eliminate the Armenians. These efforts were inspiring, but unfortunately not nearly enough, as the Ottoman Turks nearly succeeded in exterminating this entire race. Tragically, Armenians were not alone in facing genocide in the very bloody 20th century that included the Jewish Holocaust and genocidal acts in Cambodia, East Timor, Rwanda, Darfur, and too many other killing fields. So I ask that we as a community have a moment of silence to honor victims and survivors of all genocides and reaffirm our commitment to preventing future atrocities from being committed against any people. Thank you.
Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance to our great flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, so we're back to public comments, and I want to remind or make people aware that we ask that you limit your comments to 2 minutes. Everyone is entitled to speak. Welcome that. If you do hear some repetition, if you could, not repeat your comments, but if you want to go the full 2 minutes, you're entitled to do that. We welcome that. So let me call up the first 3 that I have here, just to be efficient here. And we have Suzanne Martinez, Marwa Abdelgawad, and Linda Fontanella.
Hi, I'm Suzanne Martinez. I am a CDC preschool teacher at Irvine Valley College, and I'm just going to pretend like you guys are my kids at preschool. This is hard. The Child Development Center for me is very valuable. I don't think that we could put a price on our children, the students, the IVC students, the volunteers, the staff that we have, and the parents and our community. This program provides quality childcare with its diverse cultures. We spend our days modeling positive language and attitudes and social emotional development and strong relationships. Before I worked at Irvine Valley, at IUSD. My daughter was attending IVC. I would drop her off and she would volunteer at the Child Development Center, and I felt safe dropping her off because it was right there on campus. So she was able to observe the center, and it gave me peace of mind. My last year at IUSD as a preschool teacher, I had students and volunteers that were turned away, and so now I don't know where they're going to go. My former volunteers are teachers, coaches, special ed aides, nannies, family counselors, mental health coaches, nurses, and nuns now. So all my volunteers, they're turning into something. And practicum students, they're somebody because of the college. I thought about some ideas, maybe structuring the program, like you were saying, the leasing, but I don't want to lose the parents. I don't want to lose the children to the public or to corporate businesses. We still have people that are interested, asking for tours and making calls at our center, and they've been turned away. Maybe we could do something similar to Saddleback with the infant toddler or a half-day program. I'm not really sure, but something. Lastly, like myself and my other teachers, we don't have benefits. We work part-time. It's not like this, we're making this big chunk of money. It's not. We work 5.5 hours a day. And we love our jobs. So I would personally like to invite you to come visit our center. I mean, no one would know you're there because there's a room for that. So, but thank you very much for listening. Thanks.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Marwa Abdelgawad. I was originally a dentist that moved from Egypt to the U.S. And when I came here 3 years ago, I wanted to change my career and do something that I love and I was passionate for, and that was children. So when I first started classes at the IVC, I had the best instructor ever, which was Professor Donna King, and she was my first instructor. By taking that first class, which was psychology, she asked for 18 hours of volunteer hours, and I didn't understand why until I went into the CDC at the IVC and actually observed and saw how I had to relate what was in the book to real life experience with the children. I tied them both together, and that's the way that I learned. The second class that I took was with Mary McDonough, Professor Mary McDonough, and that was guidance and disciplines. And she also asked for volunteer hours, and it was to see what guidance was and to see how these teachers at the CDC, how passionate they are with the children and the proper guidance that they're giving to the children, and that's the way that I learned. When I went and applied for a job and had an interview with my director, she asked lots and lots of questions, and I had the answers. I knew what I was doing because I learned a lot from the professors and from the teachers that were at the CDC. These are teachers that know what they are doing, very passionate and very dedicated. The other thing that I wanted to talk about is if the CDC does not continue, I think that there is going to be a very big problem. The first thing is that the doors are always open at any time for any student to come in. The classrooms are big, they're huge. It does not bother anybody. Even if we don't want to go into the classes, there are behind those rooms that are behind the classrooms that do not bother any teacher. At the school that I work at, the classes are small. If anybody comes in, the teacher feels like she's not comfortable by somebody being in there. But at the CDC, the rooms are big, they're huge, the doors are open at any time. And I think that's a great benefit for us students, for practicum students, for any other students that go and attend any class. Their doors are always open, and I think that's something very, very important. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, Linda Fontanella, Vice President for Student Services at Irvine Valley College. I'm speaking to you as the Vice President, but also a person who was a single mom for 22 years. and I raised my son with the help of a child development center, I would have never been able to achieve my educational goals had I not. So we all agree that a child development center is one of the most valuable services that we can offer to a community. And you are hearing some very passionate testimony this evening about keeping the center open or looking for other options. The campus has been dealing with a very complicated issue that surrounds the center for the last several years. And although it's identified as a lab school, it has been underutilized by the Human Development Program, with only 12% of its students using it for observation. The competition in the local area has continued to increase. We now have 36 centers within a 5-mile radius of Irvine Valley College and over 200 within a 10-mile radius. Over the last 5 years, the number of children that we serve has continued to decrease from 91 children to 52 children. And over the past 10 years, the college has subsidized the Child Development Center at $2.8 million from its general fund. If it is possible that we are able to look for other options, including a vendor, I would recommend that we are able to close the center, give thorough consideration to this while we go through transition. I appreciate your patience in listening to the many voices and concerns. We will continue to work through this and hopefully come up with a resolution that is best for all. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm going to call up the next 3 speakers: Donna King, Lucy Ware, and Diana Hurabut, if I pronounce that correctly. I'm not doing so well tonight.
Hello, I'm Donna King, excuse me, professor of child development at Irvine Valley College. And of course, I'm here to talk about the closing of the center. Thank you for listening. First off, I am now sincerely and painfully aware of the financial aspect that it made closing the center, or is making closing the center a reality. But I hope that you can reconsider, given the fact that my colleagues, students, faculty at the Child Development Center are absolutely committed to making this right. Shaving costs, working on programs that would work like a menu for parents, looking at our community, which in Irvine, we have a very sophisticated and upper income community that is looking for innovative ideas, and we have them. We have spent 2 weeks, even ignoring our children on Easter, to write a proposal that we think matters, and we feel that we need more time to develop this. We feel that 2 weeks is not enough time. We think that our program is both dynamic and exciting to the residential community. We feel that as well as being dynamic and exciting to possible consumers of our program, that it will also be leading edge and research based, meaning that our students will be able to observe the kinds of research based learning that they're seeing. So imagine that you are taking a class in child development and your professor speaks with passion about whatever the technique or whatever the theory, the idea, and then maybe shows you a video and then says, okay, go off and try to find that somewhere in one of those many centers around here that we've been in, and frankly, we don't find them to be the highest quality. We have the excitement, we have the passion, we have the expertise, the knowledge to make a program that is a big draw for our community in Irvine. So please postpone any decision to close the center. Allow us at least a month to solidify our ideas. We can do it. We know we can, and we're excited to have the opportunity. So thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Lucy Herway, and I'm talking on behalf of how I started. I started here as I was a student at IVC. doing my early childhood education hours that are required, our education to work with children in a facility like the lab school. I was fortunate enough to be in a classroom, be mentored by high-quality staff that were that already had an AA and their certificate. They were great examples that went hand in hand to exactly what we were learning in our books and to see it applied in class. After I completed my education, I received my certificate as well as my AA. I found myself in a position where I was looking for employment because I was amazed by what was going on at the center. My eyes were open at the lab school. Previous to that, I had 14 years experience in this field, but it was my last class that I took at IVC with Mary McDonough, a practicum class. And I was just amazed, again, to see everything actually, seeing that knowledge and education being applied in the classroom. They were modeling that I was learning. Again, I completed my certificate, received my AA from here at Saddleback. There was an opportunity where there was a position being open there. So I'm glad to say I'm now 20 years employed here because of that opportunity and because of that knowledge, learning what I learned from the Human Development Center and applying it in class. When I was hired, I was also at that level to be able to mentor students and to value what we do. And what I feel is missing here is to value the education that we provide, that we have from a community college experience to have those positions. They weren't just offered to everyone. It was like an ECE certificate, early childhood education. We had to have 24 units from these community colleges to be even maybe considered a position there, along with an associate. And I wouldn't have got that if I didn't have that opportunity. So I just stand here as a 20-year employee because of that opportunity by my education at Irvine and receiving my associate from here. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi there. I'm Diana Hurlbut. I'm the CTE co-chair at Irvine Valley College. I'm curriculum assistant chair. I'm a physiology instructor, and I serve on many statewide committees. And I'm here to brag first about CTE at Irvine Valley College. We're kind of like in a little, sort of like a mini golden age right now. There's a lot of exciting things happening. The laser program is going literally across the western United States. Our digital media group working strongly in all of Southern California. Our biotech program, we have 200 kids enrolled through dual enrollment in the biotech program. We're knocking it out of the park. But one of our mainstays in CTE is the Human Development Program. It is a rock, it's a good program. And by closing, or thinking about closing the Child Development Center, the issue is that it will hurt the academic program. So I totally get it. There's a business side and there's an academic program side. And we have a process to discontinue a program, and yanking out the financial support underneath it is not part of that process. So I understand that it's like we got caught between a rock and a hard place. You know, we have to make these financial decisions. We have academic programs. And what I was unhappy with is that our administrators didn't come to our faculty and say, hey, trouble's happening. We need to talk about this. It just sort of like came down, we're gonna close it. I'm hoping, what I'm asking of you is to please listen carefully. Please think about all the facts and the consequences of your decisions. Please don't be hasty. Really think about what you're doing. You're on our team too. We need your support. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, I think I have 4 more. I'll just read them off in order. Diana Castaneda, DJ Santiago, Mary McDonough, and then Natalia Etenier.
Good evening. My name is Diana Castañeda, and I'm here to express the value of the Child Development Center has had on my experience as a student of early child care and education here at Irvine Valley College. The Child Development Center has provided many valuable learning experiences for observations in a play-based, developmentally appropriate environment for young children. Students looking to start a career in early childhood education have the CDC to turn to. For many students, it has been their firsthand experience working with children in a state-licensed group setting. Additionally, the CDC provides student teachers with the opportunity to gain experience and develop their skills needed to enter the workforce fully prepared to teach in high-quality programs. Many of my classmates who couldn't be here today have completed their practicum and field study at CDC because of the practicality and the convenience of fitting into their schedule up to 8 hours a week of field study in addition to already impacted school and work schedules. Lastly, I just want to say that the experience that I've had as a student in IVC with the quality of their professors, Mary McDonough and Donna King being a couple of them, they speak from their experiences that they see in the Child Development Center daily. And that brings so much more value to the context of the information that we're learning from textbooks and theories. It only makes sense when you're able to see real life examples, and they speak from that every day, and that makes my learning experience so much more valuable to be able to relate those concepts into real life. So just in closing, I do believe that the center serves the need for the diverse community that Irvine has. It provides students with the opportunity to continue their education, and that would be parent students, as well as serves as a hands-on real-life experience for child development students. Please consider the value of supporting the Child Development Center and IVC and working to create a sustainable model for a future model program in the community. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening. My name is DJ Santiago, and I'm still new to IVC, having been employed with the district for only about 6 months now. I understand the future of the Child Development Center is being discussed today, and as a parent of children who benefited from and are currently enrolled at a Child Development Center at another community college, I do see the value of having this type of support and facility on campus. However, as I come to better understand the financial situation of the Child Development Center at IVC, as difficult of a decision as it is, I would support the closure of the center if that decision is rendered. I've come to learn that the IVC CDC has historically operated at a deficit for years, and that deficit has continually grown. I've also learned that only a small percentage of the children served at the center are directly from the IVC community of students, faculty, and staff. And for years, IVC has made the commitment to support the center despite the continued deficit. However, as we move forward into a new fiscal year when we are facing a potential budget shortfall, given the fact that the Child Development Center has continually operated at a significant deficit and that that deficit continues to grow, I would support this difficult decision to possibly close the center. Thank you.
Thank you.
Greetings again. I'm Mary McDonough. I'm a Human Development faculty member at IVC. I also was the founding director at the Child Development Center and the founding member of the Human Development Department. I recognize financial issues. I recognize that we're in deep trouble at the college. I recognize that something has to be done. But to pick something that looks the simplest to get rid of is upsetting. It is also upsetting to me that all of the other labs are considered labs. The theater operates, the labs operate. No one says that the chemistry lab is operating at a deficit. Now, I understand this is very different. This is people. We have union employees. We have issues to pay. But this drop in income and this increase in deficit was largely caused by a couple of things. The center had to drop enrollment because when they lost a teacher, it took 6 to 9 months, maybe longer, I don't know, to get another teacher on board. You cannot legally operate in California with more children than you have teachers. The ratio is 12 children to 1 teacher, mandatory. So enrollment drops and then continues to drop. Then teachers are not able to be hired. We're not able to recruit members. If you look at the numbers on because everyone wants to look at numbers. People don't seem to want to look at children, quality education. The numbers have become the number one piece. I get it. We're in trouble. But I also get that the academic program has been willing to take a look at how we can do things better here. How can we increase FTES? How can we decrease costs? We're facing potential retirements, fewer full-time employees at the center. All the teachers are part-time employees. We're looking at many ways we could cost. We started to work on proposals. We've been working on them like mad, but 2 weeks is when we were notified of this as a closing. This is a student services program. It hasn't met the student services needs if you're looking strictly student services. There's not that many students there. They can't afford it. But the goal is we have to make money, so we can't reduce the tuition. They have a 20% discount. We need to look at schedules that are shorter term so they don't cost as much, so our students can afford it. We need to link schedules to students' hours. We've met with community experts who are running programs with 500 people on the waiting list that are making money. There's lots of options here, but in 2 weeks, we didn't have the opportunity to look at them, to look at it as an academic program rather than as a student service. Student services have different issues than academics, and there's other ways of income. But the largest piece I keep hearing tonight is 25 to 30 students have talked, and it's as though they're just students. Of course they like the center. Of course they want it to be convenient. But what really matters is the bottom line. What really matters is the bottom line. What's happening with these students? Go to every center in the city of Irvine. I challenge you to try to find a center without our students working in it.
Mary, I'm going to have to ask you to
My
sum
2 minutes
up.
are up?
Yeah, they're up.
I practiced for the first one. I
you
didn't
did
practice
well.
for
You
this
do well
one.
the first round.
Okay.
You're doing well overall, but just
one
sum up,
respect
please.
request that we be given at least a month to be able to create a white paper that does come up with a solution, not to make money, but to lose money at a far lower rate. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I think we have our last speaker. Are you Natalia? Yes. Okay, please.
Hello.
Hi.
I'm Natalia Eitner. I do work for IVC-CDC. I do work for 7 years. I came to the United States from Russia as with master degree. I'm a testing engineer. I'm a research engineer. But I had a son also. He was 2 years old when I came. And after that, so many questions like, what should I give him? What kind of education? What should I do? So I started to learn. And I took classes at Saddleback. I'm grateful that I was doing it and I was answering my questions. And now my son is 24, but I'm still learning and I'm still teaching and I'm still amazed of doing it. And every day is a new day. And what I'm amazed as a research engineer, that how come all schools are surrounded, they are making money. How we are losing them. How they are profitable and they do work for profit. Yes, somebody told me they pay $12 an hour. They do pay us $30 an hour. As a part-time teachers, we don't have any benefits. We don't have health insurance. And I do see faces that say, you know what? You are here because you are making so much. Do I? Do we? Does that much that we cannot survive? That much that this is really matter? That you want us to make 12 hours? That then it will be enough? Let's do that. Maybe, I don't know what to offer that you can make more. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for your comments. We'll now move on to board reports, item 3.0, and let's start it off from Trustee Whitt.
Well, for the sake of time, I'm not going to say much except that I did attend the gala and it was wonderful. And I did attend the Disability Student Recognition Award, and I had never been to it before, and it was very moving and a sincere pleasure. I thank ASG for helping to sponsor that. You do so much for us, and I thank you. And I will move on.
Okay. Thank you, Trustee Milchiker.
Okay, I'll try to be brief as well, following Trustee Whitt's recommendations. I just want to thank everyone who's been able to help us to make the Women's Leadership Forum that's coming up this Friday at Saddleback College already an enormous success. There are already over 200 people attending, and this forum we put together because it was to actually help students, community college students, learn more so that they can successfully navigate their academic careers and their careers in general. And I thank all the public information officers and deans and chairs and professors and staff and everyone who's really helped to encourage students to come to this. It's free, and we were able to raise funds to make it free, and now we're able to have another grant so we could offer it next year. Now, at the same day of that is another Women's Leadership Forum that the Orange County Legislative Task Force is putting on in Fullerton. I just want to really sincerely thank our student trustee, Lucy Hendricks, because she has been totally supporting both, and not only is she supporting both, but she's going to attend both of the forums. She's attending this one first at Saddleback College, and then driving to Fullerton to attend the second one, and encouraging other students to do the same. So thank you, Lucy. You have more energy than many of us have. I also attended a Government Leadership Institute that was really excellent, and I really will send the other trustees and anyone else a written report to tell you what I learned at it. One of the things that we had as our homework was to read a paper that was called The Return on Investment, What is the Value of a Community College Education? And I'll send everyone the link to this. It's online. You can get it at the Association for Community College Trustee website. And it tells you what a trustee, and I know what a return on investment is, ROI, because I took accounting at Saddleback College. And it tells you what the value of a community college education is to our students. And it tells you that maybe we should let our students know right from the very beginning what they can expect from the careers that they choose in the community college. This is giving you the results of what students who are completing the community college, and that's their last degree, when they go out into the community, how much money they can make. And in many aspects, they can make more than people with a bachelor's degree or a master's degree. Some of the examples given were plumbing or water technician or technologist. They could make $130,000 a year, which is more than, I hate to say it, the child care people can make, or master's degree in social work can make, which my son is. But they said, what is the best field for students to get degrees in if they really want to make money in their career? Students who learn how to fix things or fix people win in the labor market. So this is really valuable. Letting students know what they will make in their careers early on is helpful for the students. Then they can decide what they want to do and why, and really be able to understand it. Some of the other things we discussed was preparing for emergencies on our campus, things that trustees can ask administrators to make sure we're prepared. Also in choosing CEOs, chancellors, and really the best way to do this. And this is something that we could all learn right now. So I'm sending all the other trustees links to all these different documents, and so that you can read them, and they're very valuable. Thank you.
Thank you. Trustee Lang.
Yes, given the lateness of the hour, I have no board report tonight.
Trustee Wright.
Just a short report. I did attend a few events at both Saddleback College and IVC. On April the 18th, I was at the Laser Way dedication ceremony at 9 a.m., in which we dedicated a small piece of ground. It wasn't very large. Actually, Trustee Jamal and I were there. And it was just nice to see the carts and see that this is off of Barranca. It's a third way now to get into the campus at IVC. I also attended the Saddleback College DSPS annual recognition dinner, in which 14 students were honored. And that was also a special recognition was given to Dr. Todd Burnett. And finally, I just wanted to let you know that we're going to be having a coffee and a casual conversation at IVC tomorrow, I think from 2 to 3:30. And then we have one here at Saddleback College on Wednesday from 8:30 to 10 in the morning. So invite you to come to those, please.
Thank you, Trustee Wright. I also attended the Saddleback College Gala on April 1st. And I was proud to see that the foundation raised nearly $300,000, largely for student programs and scholarships. So, and there was a nice tribute to you, Todd, at the event, a video presentation. And I'm glad that it worked out so well in the new venue. And please congratulate Don Rickner and the entire staff and the Board of Governors for the great work they've done. And it was a really good event, well attended by community and business leaders. And I really encourage anyone, if you weren't there this year, to come next year. I also was with Trustee Wright at the dedication for Laser Way. It's nice to have a third artery into IVC. It's a little bigger stretch than I thought it was, and that was a nice ceremony, and hopefully it'll relieve some of the some congestion there on campus. And then just the last thing, I think everyone knows that this board is. I hope you should know, committed to making this continue to be a great community college district. Having said that, I am aware of fiscal challenges that are on the horizon, and I think that we don't talk about it a lot in our reports, but I want the entire community to know, whether it's faculty, classified staff, managers, that we are watching it. Don't assume we're not aware of the challenges that are going on. And whether it's contracts or stipends or anything else that's going on, we are aware. And we are paying attention. And it's not always going to be business as usual. That doesn't mean this isn't going to continue to be a great community college district. It is. It's just to say that there are challenges. Our heads are not in the sand, and tough decisions are going to have to be made while still having a very well-resourced community college district. And I think we can do both, but we are looking at it. So when you submit your board items, don't assume we're not paying attention, because we are. Thank you very much. Trustee Jay.
I attended on April 1st the Saddleback College Foundation 17th annual gala at the Ritz-Carlton in Laguna Niguel. It was honoring our wonderful Todd Burnett. The gala was a record-breaking success, and it raised so much money. It was a record-breaking amount of $300,000. And also, Dr. Todd Burnett got a special award, the first Summit Award for Philanthropic Leadership and Community Advocacy. They had a wonderful inspirational guest there. It was a Marine Sergeant, Juan Valdez, who had earned a Purple Heart. And he talked about his experience at Saddleback College. He told us of the problems faced by returning servicemen and women, the fear and uncertainty of fitting back into society. He told us he not only found hope and new direction, but lots of encouragement from his new family at Saddleback College in the Veterans Program. One thing that I was really impressed was that at the table they had these cards, and it was a story of students who had gotten scholarships. And then I was really, really happy I got this one. This was the student that got the William J. Memorial Scholarship. And she was there, and I got to talk to her, and it was so much fun. That was really special to me, these cards, especially with talking to Ashley Zeman. Then on April 11th, I attended the Irvine Valley College Foundation Board of Governors meeting. The meeting was extremely well attended. We discussed the celebration of excellence, the IVC Foundation Awards Dinner. The dinner was excellent, and a very large group attended. They're having the program next year at a different place. The celebration will be held at a facility owned by the Tulip Rose in Costa Mesa. The celebration is scheduled for Saturday, March 3rd, 2018. Please mark your calendars for that. It was a wonderful event. Okay.
Thank you. Student Trustee Ford.
All righty. I think this is my last board meeting, so I gotta make it good, right? I don't know exactly how to touch note on what's been talked about tonight because I don't want to conflict or anything, but I did get to use the Child Development Center when I took a Psych 7 class in child psychology with Benjamin Miss a few years ago, and it was really impactful to get to go into one of the observation rooms and do naturalistic observation of the children and seeing some of probably their first interactions as you see cognitive development occur. So it was very cool, and I do hope you guys figure out a solution to this because I think it would be extremely beneficial for students. What's next? So I didn't get to go to any of the cool events this month. I've been very busy with different things, including this weekend that's coming up, Thursday through Saturday or Sunday. I'll be in Sacramento presenting along with my fellow Psi Beta students at Irvine Valley College. Our research. We have 9 experimental research groups that have been conducting pretty cool research over at Irvine Valley College through Psi Beta National Honor Society on Psychology, and we'll be presenting that at the Western Psych Conference. It's kind of cool because these are the big names. You get to meet all the people in your textbooks. It's like, hey, I know that guy. You get to shake his hand. It's kind of cool. So we'll be there for that. I think that's it for events. So I do want to say thank you for the opportunity that has been given to me to come up here and serve on the board as a student trustee. It's been really an honor to work with the administration of both campuses and the students. I really appreciate the thoughtful mentorship that the board members have given to me, and our one-on-one little talks have meant a lot. It's been an excellent learning experience, and I also want to put forward my true gratitude to the students of Irvine Valley College for voting for me to be their student trustee and giving me this opportunity. So thank you.
Thank you. I think we'll get you recognized shortly for your work. Chancellor's report.
Okay, I just wanted to say that for the first time, the Chancellor has a written report in the agenda under 8.0. I think that's been something that has been missing and should be in there. It provides some information and fills in some gaps, I think, and it would be very helpful for everybody to see. So we'll start to continue that practice from month to month. We're entering into an extremely busy time at the end of year activities, but I want to remind everybody that we will be hosting the Coffee with the Chancellor and board members this week. We will be at IVC Performing Arts Center on Tuesday, that's tomorrow at 2 p.m., and we will be in front of the Saddleback Health Sciences Building on Wednesday morning at 8:30. And we're doing something new this month where we're going to have an opportunity for people, if they're shy or just want to get a question or comment ahead of time, that they could put that. We send a district-wide email out a couple times, and there's a portal where you can send your questions anonymously if you'd like to, and we'll address those at the session. So we're going to do that too. These coffees really give us an opportunity to hear from you, to provide updates on what's happening, but more importantly, to hear from you. And we're going to have refreshments, so please try to come. We want to really have good attendance, and really do want to listen. Soon we will be sending out 2 surveys to our employees. The first one is a climate survey, and the second one is our board evaluation survey. So we've been taking a lot of time this year, really trying to improve our climate and our workplace environment, trying to work more collaboratively and cooperatively with each other, and I hope that does show. So we do want to have you really participate in that climate survey so we can evaluate how well we're doing and what else we have to work on. So we really encourage you to take that survey. And of course, the board evaluation survey, they're going to have the retreat in June, at the end of June, and of course, we want to have feedback provided to the board as well. So please try to look for those too, and they're coming in the next couple weeks. So we can identify areas for improvement, because we always want to improve. Finally, I'm happy to recognize that the District Public Affairs Office got an award for 2 graphic designs, both for the Saddleback Science Building graphic, and they got a silver award from the National Council on Marketing and Public Relations, and a bronze award from the Community College Public Relations Organizations. And these awards elevate our district's reputation among other 2- and 4-year colleges across the nation. So good job, Terri, and to your staff who did those awards. And I did say lastly, but I do want to say that I'm very excited to see the item tonight for the resolutions for the Faculty of the Year awards. That's always good to see, and I really want to show our appreciation for our faculty. Also, the Classified Employee Week, and Jonathan Ford. Looking forward to recognizing you in a few minutes. Thank you.
Thank you, Chancellor Fitzsimmons. College President's Reports. Irvine Valley College.
Thank you very much, President Jamal. I think due to the hour, I'm going to go ahead and let my written report stand for this evening. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Appreciate that. President Burnett.
Good evening. I don't know why this isn't going down. Oh, there it goes. Sorry. First off, I want to thank everybody that attended the Saddleback College Foundation Gala. It was an enormous success, as you've heard, but I have some numbers that you haven't heard. It's one thing to raise gross dollars, but it's really the net dollars that matters, because that's the money we get to keep after all the expenses are done. And I'm very excited that the foundation netted $176,000 out of the $300, which is $16,000 more than what they grossed last year. So that's a tremendous achievement. So congratulations to our foundation. Not to be outdone, but as you all heard, we're extremely thrilled at Saddleback that we received the $2 million State Innovations Award, which is for our veterans program. And in particular, I'm excited because it's about creating pathways and success for veterans with all the CSUs in the state of California and community colleges. So our award is for more than just our college community, it's for statewide. So I'm very thrilled. As you all know, folks, and I know it's in the written documents, but we want to remind you, this is the next crunch month of events. So get ready, take a deep breath, and we'll see you hopefully starting on May 3rd at the One Book One College. We know we have the Henrietta Lacks family that's going to be here. That's an enormous honor to have the family here to talk about the book and the panel. And hopefully you've all read the book thus far. It's a very important piece of work, and we look forward to seeing you there. Of course, we have things like Transfer Celebration coming up on May 5th, the Nursing Program Pinning Ceremony on May 9th. We hope you're all going to come to the Awards and Recognition Ceremony on May 17th from 2:30 to 4 p.m. in McKinney Theater. This year is going to be, it's our second year annual event, and this year it's going to be very, very exciting, where we recognize all kinds of folks that we do throughout the year. Obviously, scholarship ceremony, the Human Services graduation, commencement, etc. We'll see you all there. Thank you.
Thank you. Associated Student Government Reports. Saddleback. Who's going first? Okay. Saddleback College.
I'm always happy to talk. All right, so at our last meeting, I did share with you all that we would about to be entering into our elections for our executive officers for next year. So those have completed. We do have a new president and vice president. President's name is Erica Delamar, and our vice president is Camyar Fies. So they'll be joining us next month, which will be my last meeting before we do switch over into the next term. Last week, we held a pancake breakfast in the quad to benefit our Student Emergency Relief Fund, and we raised over $350. And one little anecdote I wanted to share was, when we were doing the pancake breakfast, we had pancakes $1 per pancake or $5 all you can eat, and we expected that, some of our faculty members or other employees of the school would give us an extra donation, a couple dollars here and there, but I was really astounded by how many students were willing to give as well. Once we explained what the program was, how it could help, the students in the most need. There were a lot of students that wanted, to give us $10, $20, keep the change, which was really incredible, a really students helping students scenario. So we're hoping to do more events like that in the future, be able to support some of the programs that go back to the students at our campus. As Trustee Milchecker mentioned, we do have a good bit of our team going to the 2 leadership conferences that are being held this Friday. I think we have about 15 students going to each, and as she mentioned, I'll be bouncing back and forth at each of them. But I like doing stuff like that, so I'm very happy to. And lastly, I did just want to mention, kind of tacking on what President Burnett said about our veterans. We do have our Veterans 5K coming up, so I have some of their nice little flyers for it here. But that'll be on Sunday, June 18th, which is Father's Day. So it should be a really great event, and for those of you that like running, you can get a little run in as well. So I have some flyers if anyone is interested.
Thank you. IVC.
Good evening, everyone. My report is going to be brief. So the first one is the ASG of IVC Budget and Finance Committee has completed all their budget hearings and finalized their tentative budget. They'll be presenting the budget to the Board of Trustees next month. Currently, the budget is being shared among the SG as well as the campus as well. Second is the elections. So we have completed our elections. We are pleased to announce that our new president is going to be Samantha Sang. Currently, this week, we are having meetings with the elected students as well as our current student leaders. We're having meetings so that to ensure the transition is going to be smooth. Next is our Snapchat scavenger hunt. So last Wednesday, we had a Snapchat scavenger hunt that having pictures on Snapchat, asking people to, having quizzes on there. So, and then we give gifts to people who won those scavenger hunts. We had a great increase on our social media followers, and this is going to be great for publicizing any event in the futures. Lastly, on the current event is Take Your Faculty to Lunch. The Take Your Faculty to Lunch program has begun since Monday, March 27, 2017. It's a 200 students program that allows students and faculty to have a more deeper talk through a meal. Currently, it has already about 100 students signed up, and we are expected to be finishing all the rest of the 100 by the end of this semester. We'll continue this program after this semester as well. So next semester, this program will be continuing. Upcoming event. This Saturday, we are having a nursery event. Some of the student leaders, including me, will be attending that at UCI from 8 to 11. It's just we're planting trees and helping to save the planet. Lastly is the Coffee with the Chancellors and Board of Trustees tomorrow. Student leaders will be there tomorrow after our meeting at 2, and we are happy to talk about issues and questions that we have. Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have any board requests for reports? Seeing none. Before we move on to our discussion items, I'd like to ask for a motion from one of our board members to extend the meeting.
Okay, I move to extend the meeting till 9:30.
I second.
We have a motion from Trustee Milchiker and a second from Trustee Wright to extend the meeting to 9:30. I hope that's enough time. Are there any questions on the motion? We're waiting to see. I think they're trying to do it now. Okay. I had a say. I already now. Trustee Wright.
Right.
You need a second. There we go.
There we go.
Okay, we have a 6-0 trustee unanimous vote to extend the meeting and a student advisory yes vote to extend the meeting and one trustee absent. Okay.
Never works.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I like it better. It's like the Senate. Okay. So I think the Chancellor has a comment on the next item 4.1.
We had a lot of public comments this evening, so I'm recommending that the discussion items be postponed until next board meeting. That would be items 4.1 and 4.2, the presentations that were going to be 10 minutes each on non-academic barriers as well as strong workforce program.
Any objections to that from the board, student trustee? Okay, so we will hear these. We will hear these items at the next meeting.
Apologize to people who are.
Yeah, it's not for disinterest. We apologize to those who are prepared for tonight. I'm sure you did a lot of work, but that just means you're well prepared for next month. All righty. So now we're on to our consent calendar, 5.0. Do we have any polls? I have one, 5.2. Any other polls?
I do.
Trustee Whitt?
I wanted to pull 6.8, Exhibit B, Attachment 1.
Oh, no, we're
Oh,
just
sorry,
on the
we're
consent
doing
calendar
5.
now.
Sorry.
Anything on the consent?
No. Sorry.
All right.
Didn't hear it.
Is there a motion to move the balance of the items? That's right. I'm supposed to look on the screen. We have a motion from Trustee Milchiker and a second from Trustee Wright. Any further discussions on the consent calendar? Let's go ahead and vote. Unanimous trustee yes vote, one trustee absent, and student advisor yes vote. It is working. All right. On 5.2, we have a number of resolutions here for some people that have done some great work and accomplishments throughout the year. And I guess for the record, I'd like to acknowledge them. And if college presidents want to chime in and say a few words, you're welcome to. We're going to hold you till last, I think, because I think there's some people in the audience here. Okay. All right. Is anyone still remaining? All right. Well, we're going to recognize our student trustee, Jonathan Ford, Basil Smith, Professor of the Year, Saddleback College. Not here. Congratulations anyway. Tracy McGran, Associate Professor of the Year for Saddleback College. Susan Heck, Emeritus Professor of the Year for Saddleback College. Michael Cassens, Professor of the Year, Irvine Valley College.
Yay. Yeah.
You can applaud.
Yeah. He's awesome. Yeah. He had to go put his kids to bed. His little ones.
I'm almost done. Rick Shank, Associate Professor of the Year for IVC.
He left to teach a class.
That's good. And Judith Shields, Emeritus Professor of the Year for Irvine Valley College.
Judith is still here.
Congratulations. Would you like to come up for a quick photo, or do you want to just say a few words?
We should.
Have something to present to you.
We should honor the professor who's here, I think. One of them is here.
Okay. Sure.
Do we want to do Jonathan first and give the plaque and then do the professors?
We'll do the Professor of the Year first, and then we'll recognize Jonathan. So, is she here? Would you like to come up and we can say come all the way up? We'll get a quick photo.
Just up to the podium.
Come on down to the Price is Right.
Does she have? I don't have her resolution. I don't have her resolution.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for coming.
Oh, I think I'm just about the only one left. I just want to thank Dr. Greiner for her leadership and her guidance and support of the Emeritus program. And of course, Dr. Rockmore and the Board of Trustees. I wasn't always a teacher, I was a nurse. And after I retired, life changes. So here I am, and I've been with IVC for 10 years. I'll cut this short. And thank you so much for honoring me, for doing something that I just love and feel passionate about. So thank you.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations again. We have, Jonathan, why don't you come up, we'll do a quick photo. We have a plaque for you and a very lengthy resolution, which says in 5 paragraphs all the great work you did and which you did. And it was, being president over this last year with you as trustee, you've added a lot of value, insightful comments, well thought out, and it's been a pleasure to have you as a student trustee.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Very cool. I don't have to sign my own one, which is nice.
Can you pass it over to him?
I think we need a motion to approve 5.2. Well, motion, well, sorry, Trustee Langs. Motion from Trustee Milchiker, second, Trustee Whitt. Any further discussion on the resolutions? Probably not. Let's go ahead and vote. We have unanimous trustee yes votes, one trustee absent, and a student advisory yes vote. All right. We have now finished the consent calendar. Moving on to general action items. 6.1 is Irvine Valley College Health Center Concessions Project Architectural Services. No changes to the item. Do we have a motion to approve the item? Motion from Trustee Lang and a second from Trustee Wright. Any other discussions or questions? Okay, seeing none, let's go ahead and vote. We have a unanimous trustee yes vote, one trustee absent, and student advisory yes vote. All right, 6.2, Saddleback College and Irvine Valley College student health fee increase.
We have a correction on this next one. I'm going to ask Kim McCord to make the two corrections into the record. If she could read those into the record,
Yes.
please.
Okay, so on the first paragraph, under the background, the second sentence should read that the currently this fee is set at $19 per semester and $16 per summer. That is the current fee, so we had those misstated. And the second paragraph, the current memo was dated February 24th, 2017. So that was referring to the prior memo.
All right.
Those are the only corrections.
Okay. Thank you for those corrections. We have a motion from Trustee Lang and a second from Trustee Jay to approve the item. Any questions, further questions? Seeing none, let's go ahead and vote. A unanimous trustee yes vote, one trustee absent, and student advisory yes vote. 6.3, award of bid 346D. It's district waste removal services for Saddleback IVC and the district and ATEP. No changes to the item? We need to clear the count. Oh, there it goes. We have a motion from Trustee Wright, a second from Trustee Milchiker. Any other discussion? Let's go ahead and vote. A unanimous trustee yes vote, one trustee absent, and student advisory yes vote. 6.4, the award of a bid for district hazardous waste removal services at Saddleback IVC and ATEP. No changes to the item. Is there a motion to move the item? Well, we have to get the screen cleared. There we go. Motion from Trustee Wright and a second from Trustee Jay. Any other discussion or questions? Okay, let's go ahead and vote. Have a unanimous trustee yes vote, one trustee absent, and a student advisory yes vote. 6.5, Modular Wall Systems, UC contract. No changes to the item, I'm advised. Do we have a motion to approve the item? Well, going to have to get the screen cleared.
The screen is very
There we go.
slow.
We have a motion from Trustee Whitt and a second from Trustee Jay. Any further discussion? Let's go ahead and vote on the item. And it looks like we need one more vote. And it's a unanimous trustee yes vote, one trustee absent, and a student advisory yes vote. 6.6, board policy revisions, several of them here. Is there a motion to approve this item? Oh, I'm sorry, I'm correct, good correction. To accept for review and study these items. It's a motion by Trustee Wright. And a second from Trustee Jay. And I had just, my only comment is I was a little confused on the nepotism, board policy on nepotism. I had some questions about it. And perhaps, and I forwarded, I think, some to you, Chancellor, and maybe prior to the next meeting, I can get some of these questions answered. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and vote on 6.6. Unanimous trustee yes vote, 1 trustee absent, student advisory yes vote. 6.7, academic personnel actions.
Move approval.
We have, you need to do it electronically.
The system's slow. There must be a...
You got beat to it. Motion from Trustee Whitt. And
I don't see it on my screen.
You have
push
to go
on
to
the
on
floor.
the floor.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
And a second from Trustee Jay. Any questions on the item? Seeing none, let's go ahead and vote. It is a unanimous trustee yes vote, 1 trustee absent, and a student trustee abstention. So we're on to 6 point, shouldn't we be on?
6.8.
6.8? 6.8, classified personnel actions.
Yes, I have a minor change on this item under 6.8 on page 4, item B, number 1. I'm going to remove that particular item to be brought back next month. So with that, the rest of the item is, there's no changes to the rest of the item.
Okay.
And that was on page 4, item B1. Thank you.
That's being pulled.
Yeah, pulled off the agenda.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, and so we have motion for the remainder of the item. Motion from Trustee Lang, second from Trustee Milchiker. Any other discussions or requests to speak? Seeing none, let's go ahead and vote. We have a unanimous trustee yes vote, 1 trustee absent, and a student trustee abstention. Okay, we're now on to item 6.9 regarding classified employee position layoff and adoption of a resolution to approve the reduction and discontinuance of classified service positions. Is there a motion to move this item? We have a motion from Trustee Whitt, and we have a second from Trustee Jay. Do we have any discussions on this item? No? Okay. No. The motion does pass by a vote of 5-1, with 1 trustee absent and a student advisory abstention. All right, we're now moving on to reports. Saddleback College, well, I think we already kind of did this, 7.1 Professors of the Year. Saddleback College and IVC Professors of the Year. 7.2, Saddleback College and Irvine Valley College speakers. Listing of speakers for events. 7.3, staff response to public comments from the previous board meeting. Basic aid report, 7.4. Do you have any changes? No change. No changes. 7.5, facilities plan status report. Trustee Wright.
I just had 2 questions about this. There was a there are 3 science rooms in the science math building are being used for ATAS, AT/AS. Can you tell me what rooms those are?
101, 102, 104, I think. Is it 103? That's the small room next
Well,
to 102?
well,
And 130.
Because those are all on the first floor. That's where
Yes.
that's the physics labs. Or the physics classrooms, that's
Correct.
101, 102, and 104.
It's in 104 or 103. The one that's
See,
right next to
104
102?
no, 104 is a large room.
103. It's 103.
Yeah, 103.
And then 130, which used
Okay.
to be the Geo Lab.
Okay, good.
Okay.
I'm surprised they didn't use the second floor of the biology area, so, okay. And the second thing is the status of the construction of the building at ATEP. How's that going?
Did you say for ATAS?
For ATEP.
Oh, ATEP. It's going very well.
What's happening there?
They are installing steel there
Okay.
now. They topped off the steel. So if you were to go by that site, you would see the skeleton of a building, which for me is the most beautiful part of the building.
Okay.
So it's on schedule. There was the rain delay that we discussed previously, and that's all been addressed, and we're moving forward with a acceleration on that project so that it meets its target date.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, good. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Any other questions? Okay. We're now on to 7.6, monthly financial status report. 7.7, quarterly financial status report. 7.8, retiree OPEB trust fund. And 7.9, pension stabilization fund. All right. Now on to reports from the administration and governance groups, and I will start off with the Saddleback College Academic Senate.
Good evening, trustees and interim Chancellor Fitzsimmons. Kim DRC could not. Are we good? All right. Good evening, trustees and interim Chancellor Fitzsimmons. Kim DRC could not make it this evening and sends her apologies. I am Charles Myers, the Senate Vice President, and here's our report for this evening. We have concluded our elections, and next year's Senate exec officers will be Dan Walsh, President, Bruce Gilman, Vice President, Kimberly Stankovich, Vice President, Blake Stevens, President-elect, Kim DRC, past President, and the Secretary position is currently vacant. We are currently on the process of finalizing our voting on Saddleback's LMS, which closes this evening. We have 2 more Senate meetings and believe this was a successful and productive year. Thank you.
Thank you. Faculty Association.
No report.
Okay. Thank you for that. IVC Academic Senate.
Hi, good evening.
You're
My
not
name
Kathy
is No,
Schmeidler.
I'm not.
We know that.
Okay. My name is Cheryl Delson. I am the recorder for the Academic Senate, and Kathy's on a plane right now, so she gave me a report to read, and I'm sure everybody knows Kathy very well. So she did a quote from her: "This will be my longest report to you at a board meeting, and I'm not even here to deliver it." So that's from her. So I will get on. I'm going to read this. First, she starts off with congratulations to all the professors of the year in all categories, but most especially to Michael Kazans, who is a very deserving IVC Professor of the Year. And much appreciation to Jonathan Ford for his service. So thank you. And so now the rest of the report is concerning the Child Development Center at IVC. So please be assured that we understand budgetary considerations and the need to find savings in our budget. Although the drain on the budget by the CDC has been recognized all along, in the past it has been usually treated as one more cost of doing business. Our primary business of educating students and also by the way of serving the community. The CDC is not only a cost center, nor only a component of service to the surrounding community, though it is both of these. More to the point, especially to a college district, and the faculty, the CDC constitutes a key component of the Human Development Department's course and program offerings. Human Development offers 2 degrees or certificates of achievement and 5 certificates of proficiency. Last year, 50 students earned certificates and degrees. In comparison to several other colleges in the immediate area, all considerably larger than IVC, Saddleback awarded 60, Santa Ana 65, and Fullerton awarded 18. This is a good indicator of the high reputation that the IBC Human Development Program enjoys. Most of those students satisfied requirements for one or more classes at the CDC. At least 13 classes require visits to a CDC, either the IBC CDC or another one. Visit purposes range including direct observation of children in various learning, playing, behavioral situations, study of the structure of learning spaces for young children of different ages, study of the use of indoor and outdoor learning spaces for young children, study of safety considerations in the construction and use of learning and care spaces for young children, interviewing teachers about specific instructional approaches, supervised lessons and/or care at CDC as part of IBC class, program, and licensure completion as special courses called CWE, Cooperative Work Experience, and because this work is exactly what the IBC students are interested in pursuing. While most IBC students visit the CDC to fulfill a variety of class, certificate, and program and licensure requirements, there are several reasons that the SARS data do not reflect this activity. With the reason that this use is not required in the course, the curriculum of record, associated with most of these classes. The IBC CDC is stated requirement in only one HD core, but observations and visits are required in many more classes, reflected in class syllabi. The reason for this is that many students live or work at a distance, and the faculty sensitive to student needs have written the cores to allow instructor flexibility to permit students to perform required activities at other sites. However, when a student takes advantage of this allowance, more is required because it becomes the student's obligation to describe the other facilities sufficiently to convince the instructor that it was an appropriate site for the activity. Unfortunately, sometimes the big lesson turns out to be a comparison of ours with a substandard or at least a lower quality facility. This is certainly not the sort of experience we want our students to use for their primary learning environment. Thus, students are encouraged to use the IBC CDC, even though the requirement is not documented in the core. The SARS data collected and presented only captures certain sorts of observations and activities that students perform at the CDC. Students also visit when no children are present, for example, to study the facility itself. Other non-SARS documented activities include special projects for classes, volunteer work, and other participatory activities afforded our students. This may reflect the historical arrangement of the CDC being administered in student services rather than by an instructional dean, as one might have expected for a lab school. The reasons for this are submerged in the mists of IBC's history, but had not previously seemed to be present insurmountable difficulties. Without second-guessing or spreading blame, it is conceivable that some of these issues we are encountering now may be confused by this administrative agreement. Survival of the HD programs. Students need the complementary and necessary experience with children in a high-quality lab setting to back up their scholastic work. There is a very strong probability that without a lab school, enrollment would immediately drop dramatically in the HD program as students would opt to attend local colleges that have a lab school on site. The CDC/lab is closely tied to curriculum, just as other lab classes are tied to curriculum. The program offers 2 degrees and 5 certificates, all of which require regular ongoing participation in a quality child care center. Our superlative reputation will probably not be sufficient to carry us for long. There are no colleges in the county with viable HD programs and no lab school. This is why I'm speaking to you tonight on behalf of the IBC faculty concerned with process. Faculty role in matters concerning curriculum and programs, accreditation concerns if internal processes are not followed, de facto program discontinuance without following program discontinuous process. Students are attracted to programs with on-site early childhood center for observation and experience. IBC is close to and competing for students with many other community colleges that have programs similar to our HD programs. The IBC program is attractive to students because of its superior reputation. This reputation is likely to suffer if there is no on-site venue for observation and other required activities. Observations of children in a center like the CDC, as well as observations of the facility, are licensure requirements. Thank you. And she does apologize for not being here.
Of course, thank you. Trustee Whitt.
I'm sure this is out of order, but I'd like to change my vote for the record, please, on 6.9, and that would be a no, just so you know that. Here's to you, Kathy.
Okay. So I think we need to revote on item 6.9.
Thank you.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Wait, I'm looking.
I think what we need is I think we need a motion to reconsider.
Cancel or change previous action.
Yeah, so I think we need to move, we needed to, I think we'd have to reconsider the vote.
Yeah.
37.
Okay, so I need a motion to reconsider the vote on 6.9. I believe that's the procedure that we need to follow in this instance. And once that motion to reconsider has occurred, then we'll have a revote on 6.9. So this motion would be just to reconsider. It doesn't mean that you have to change your vote on the final vote, as I understand it. Okay?
Yes.
All right. So on the motion to reconsider the vote for 6.9, is there,
Can you?
so
No,
do we
this
have it
says
correct?
Motion to approve. We need to motion to reconsider.
We need to reconsider it first, and then we'll have a revote on the actual
Type in a
item.
motion to reconsider.
Well, or they can just note it later. We can,
Okay.
Right.
I think I'm correct.
You need to move to rescind or amend something previously adopted. You have to, that's what you have to move to. Move to rescind.
Well, okay, if we're going to rescind, but that's rescinding, no,
Don't you
Just
love
vote
this
and
that I did
revoting.
this?
but it
Then
doesn't
you
say
revote.
revote.
But you will, then you'll
Well, number
vote on it.
35 says cancel or change a previous motion, and that would be, I move to rescind or amend something previously adopted.
It's 35.
Okay, fine, let's move, okay, let's. Yeah, I think we should, so, is there a motion to rescind the vote taken this evening on item 6.9? What?
Motion to rescind.
Motion to rescind. Do I have a motion?
Just say yes. Yes.
Okay, we have a motion from
Trustee Whitt.
Trustee Whitt.
I'll second it.
I'm sorry, you need us to electronically vote? Okay, so can someone move it? So we have a motion to rescind item to vote on 6.9 from Trustee Whitt.
Second.
Second from Trustee Milchiker. This is on the motion
To
to rescind.
So it's yes.
Okay? I'm waiting. We have by a 5-1 yes vote with one trustee absent and another student advisor yes vote. We have voted to rescind the earlier vote on 6.9. Now we'll have a revote on item 6.9. And in this,
Move to approve first.
I know, well, that's why I said we're going to have a motion on 6.9. So we'll have a vote, and we need a motion and a seconder. We have a motion from Trustee Jay, second from Trustee Lang, and a request to speak. Hold on. We have a couple of requests to speak, including myself. No, not yet. Just Trustee
I
Whitt.
didn't touch it. I didn't
Don't
touch
you want to speak?
I didn't touch it to speak. I think.
Oh, your name came up.
My name came up, well, then I will
wanna
speak.
say anything?
I will speak. I have to say this was a very difficult decision for me, extremely difficult. But, and I don't know in the orange, when you came up to speak, I was taken by it, but then I thought, no, I have to look at fiscal responsibility. But you also have to understand that we will look at it. But what has to happen because of logistics and because of timing and because of law. But after hearing what Kathy had to say, and I respect her dearly, there was more to her words. It was more enlightenment for me. So I have to make this mess here, and I'm sorry to keep you a little bit longer, but I had to do it. So I wanted to re-vote, and thank you for your patience.
Okay, so I had a couple of comments now that we've gone through the revote. I think I'm very moved by all of the testimony, both before the closed session and before the open session. I think the Child Development Center at Irvine Valley College has provided a lot of value, and I think having the lab, experiential learning experiences, clinical learning experiences are extremely valuable. I think a lot of mistakes were made. I think that I'm not saying this could have been avoided. I don't know, but I do think that it could have been addressed a little bit earlier. And I'm sorry we're at this point. And I know some people here, including the faculty, feel like it was brought late to you in the process, and I think to us to a certain degree as well. I think more planning could have been done and outreach earlier, but we are at this point, and I'm just hopeful that that at some point that we're able to make use of that facility in a way that's meaningful for the students and for the child care services that we were previously delivering. Probably not going to like the outcome of this vote. I know, I see the stack here. We have a huge stack of people who spoke this evening, and that's from the heart, not just from the heart, but also intelligently. And I think it's appreciated by everyone on this board. So to that extent, thank you for requesting the revote. Trustee Whitt gave me an opportunity to speak. And I don't know if anyone else has anything else to speak, anything else to say. And let's go ahead and vote on the item again. It is the motion does carry. It is a 4-2 vote of trustees with one trustee absent and a student trustee no vote. All right. Okay. I think now we are at Vice President of Technology and Learning Services.
No report this evening.
Thank you very much. And I think we have the, I don't know your title, Terri. Executive Director of Human Resources.
Right. No report at this time.
All right. And Acting Chancellor of Business Services.
Vice Chancellor. Yes, no report tonight.
Okay. Thank you very much. And now we have IVC Classified Senate.
Marine News for Karen Martin, and no report either.
Thank you.
Actually, I have no report, but I did want to address Student Trustee Ford. You served your students very, very well, and congratulations. I'm going to wish you very well, and I've enjoyed our conversations, and I've enjoyed your sense of humor.
All right. So I think we made it by 3 minutes. Everyone, please enjoy your evening. Thank you.
Thank you.